roses and flowers, stores flooded with heart-shaped everything, balloons, cards, candles, and teddy bears, candy companies displaying all kinds of chocolates, some of them way too sweet. I'm eyeing you, cheap chocolate candy companies. And we can't forget the sweetheart candies with the messages of love imprinted on them. Be mine, hug me, kiss me, I'm yours, XOXO. Ah, yes, the love from the piercing arrows of Cupid. Overly commercialized, money-grabbing, guilt-tripping, greeting card-funded, chocolate-pushing, jury-slinging, capitalist holiday, Valentine's Day. As of the recording of this video, Valentine's Day is approaching. Valentine's Day is all about love, right? Romantic love, self-love, friendship. But let's be real, love isn't exactly in the air these days. It doesn't seem to be cruising along smoothly. If anything, based on my feed, there's a sinking love boat with only one life jacket, and men and women are fighting over who deserves it. That's the gender war. It's also Black History Month, and as it relates to the Black community, there are many other divides as well. If you want to hear what I have to say about those divides, check out my video, Exposed, the Unity They Fear. But in the midst of all this infighting, just humor me for a few minutes. Because, as usual, I have questions. What if we set aside our divisions and imagine what it would look like to love each other as a community? What does love in the Black community as a whole look like? Not just during Black History Month, but every day. And what should it look like? From the moment our ancestors were forced onto ships, they held on to each other. During slavery, families were literally torn apart by their children and other relatives being sold to slave owners on different plantations, more than likely never to see those relatives again. But our people found ways to keep traditions, to care for children who weren't their own, and to pass down knowledge that the world tried to erase. That was love. In the 1800s, our very own Moses, Harriet Tubman, and others helped enslaved Black people escape to freedom by forming secret networks of safe houses and guides. That was love. During Jim Crow in the early to mid-1900s, when racism kept us out of certain businesses, we built our own. Thriving Black communities like Greenwood in Tulsa, Sweet Auburn in Atlanta, and Bronzeville in Chicago. Supporting each other wasn't just survival, it was love in action. In about 1916 to about 1970, during the Great Migration, millions of Black families migrated from the South to the North and West, often sending money back home to support relatives. Black families opened their doors to newcomers, helping them find jobs and housing. Now tell me, if that ain't love, what is? And how the Black Panther Party's free breakfast program in the 1960s helped children receive free breakfasts, free medical clinics, and received education initiatives despite government neglect. This was a revolutionary form of love. And in the Civil Rights Movement, that wasn't just about marching. It was about feeding each other, giving each other rides during the Alabama bus boycott, watching each other's kids while the fight for justice raged on. We had each other's backs because we understood if one of us ain't free, none of us are. Oh, I ain't finished, because this list doesn't just end here. What about our music? From the Negro spiritual sung during slavery to love ballads and soul and R&B, music has been a way for Black people to express love, healing, and connection. And what about protecting and raising each other's kids? Because we knew that it takes a village. Historically, Black communities have practiced collective child rearing with extended family, neighbors, and even unrelated elders stepping in to raise children. Again, love in action. But somewhere along the way, that love got twisted. The same system that told us we weren't human now tells us that loving each other is a weakness, that unity is a joke, that violence, betrayal, and individualism are the way forward. And some of us bought into that lie. I'm just an older woman in her 50s, but things seem so different these days. Even the children are different. I remember when I was newly married to my second husband. We have been married for about 26 years now. When my children and I moved to his neighborhood, it was a different world. Anyway, I was outside and I heard a little boy cursing. He was really young, most certainly elementary school. I told him something like, stop all that cussing. And do you know what that little boy proceeded to do? You got it. He cussed me slap out. Yes, he did. That baby, that little grown man in a baby's body cussed me out. He cussed me out like I stole money from him. I was so shocked. As I explained in another video of mine, the truth about life they don't want you to know. Yeah, I know, more of my video plugs. But I came from a community, in spite of its flaws, that looked out for the children. So I was not expecting to get into this new community and get cussed out by a child. Now granted, I didn't know this child or his people, but back in the day that didn't matter. We all looked out for each other. But now, even correcting a child gets you cursed out. That moment made me realize something had changed. The love we once had for each other, for our children, for our communities was fading. We used to celebrate love in our families, in our communities, even in our music. Now, showing love is soft. Caring about your people makes you a simp. And being ruthless is seen as keeping it real. When did that happen? Touching on music again, at one point, hip-hop gave us messages of strength and unity. Now, gangster rap and thug life have become the image of blackness. And the shift in female rap, let's just say it's a long way from Queen Latifah's UNITY. Even prison culture has been glorified in our community. How did we get here? Somewhere along the way, we started believing that being cold, heartless, and disconnected made us stronger. But does it? Does it though? I argue that tearing each other down doesn't benefit us at all. It doesn't bring us safety. It doesn't bring us stability. It just makes us easier to control, easier to manipulate, and easier to destroy. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. But I'm not the first person to say this either. The beautiful revolutionary Assata Shakur once said, "We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chains." And she was right. All I'm saying is that it's okay to love ourselves enough to love each other. So what if we flip the script? What if we stopped seeing love as weakness and started seeing it for what it really is? Power. Loving each other isn't soft. It isn't lame. It's not just for simps. It is not a joke. It's what kept us alive. And it's what built our communities. And it's what will save us now. So, what if we started seeing love as power? What if we started moving like we actually wanted to see each other win? What if we made unity cool again? Because at the end of the day, we all we got. And that's more than enough. We talk about love all the time, mostly in a romantic sense. But love is more than that. Love is how we care for each other as a people, how we uplift our community, how we support one another even when the world won't. That means checking in on someone, supporting a black business, uplifting each other, helping the next generation, and staying involved in our communities. Because real love isn't just a feeling, it's an action. If this message resonates with you, share it, talk about it. Challenge the idea that we have to be at war with each other. Because love isn't weakness. Love is the revolution. And as always, thanks for watching. See you next time.